I really believe this is what he wants to do. That he does want to destroy the Liberal Party that his father spent all of his life building, and as a result of that, his family was sacrificed to dedicate himself to this Liberal Party, and seeing his accolades as the leader of the Liberal Party, he probably as a young boy saw that this was more important to his father than being a father. Being the leader of this party was more important than being the husband and the father. And I've always believed that. And I honestly believe that his intention is to run it to the ground. And nobody is going to steer him clear of that agenda. By any means necessary, whatever organizations that he has to be a part of and he has to bring in and just to dismantle Canada. I believe that is why he joined all of these different non-elected organizations being mentored by Klaus Schwab. I believe that, I've always, every time I see this man, and I believe that is his agenda. So I don't think that he's being hurt or he's going to be humiliated or if he loses. To him, it's a win-win. You see, the psychology of Justin Trudeau, this is a win-win for a man like him. It's a win-win. He's winning by staying as a leader and just destroy everything Canadian that his father held dear. And it's a win if he destroys the Liberal Party and loses. And on the way, he collected millions with all these scandals that occurred along the way. I don't think you guys are understanding. This is a win-win for Justin. It's in the best interest of Canadians to have this man lose as quickly as possible as a leader, because as I said, losing to him is still winning. I don't think you get it. But as I'm saying, not but, and it is in the Canadian citizens' best interest to have him lose as quickly as possible, because the damage that you are allowing him to put on Canada, the longer you make him stay and win in destroying Canada and destroying the Liberal Party, it's a lose for you, but it's a win-win for him. So it is going to be a win for the Canadian citizens. The quicker you make him lose, it's a win for you. But the longer you keep him in, it's a win. And if he loses next election, he still won. Because he's going to win by decimating this party that his father loved so dear, loved more than being present. Listen, there's things that happen behind closed doors in people's families. I don't think the society really grasps how impactful children's personalities are formed by living a life of duplicity and putting on a face and having to act like everything is good but suffering behind. Look at his wife. After a while, Sophie was just like, I'm sorry, I'm not her. Sophie's like, I tried it, but I'm not her. I'm sorry, I can't stay in a relationship where there is no love. I signed up for it thinking that it wasn't, but the longer I stay in it, I see what you're trying to create this. I'm sorry, I'm not her. And she left. It's in the best interest of the Canadian citizens to make Justin Trudeau lose as quickly as possible. And for the Liberal Party, I'm sorry to say, I'm not sure even a revolt now is going to do anything. However, the consolation that you can is that you made the changes now. For those who are going to insist that he leaves, you're saving your character. Let me just put it out there, and I'm wrapping up. I'm wrapping up because I'm 34 minutes in and it's 7 o'clock and I got ready for my Zoom. So this is what came to me. This inspired thought came to me, and also as just a life coach and a leadership advisor, you get to sense people in the profession that I'm in and the gifts that I have. Innately and academically, you learn things, but it's all about going with your gut and just sensing people where they are, and that way you can give them the best advice as a coach when you've assessed their personality, but also just watching, observing. For those Liberal members, my advice is to follow through with your threats. The deadline that you said that you've given him, follow through with what you say you're going to do, because this, for him, he doesn't care. And I think by now you've realized, people classify them as a narcissist. I think you've by now realized he doesn't care about anybody else but Justin and Justin's agenda. And his agenda is to run your party down to the ground. He should have figured that out, but you were riding the wave, as I've already said. This is now about your character, your integrity. When the dust settles, whoever you are as the Liberal members, it's for you to stand and say, I stood. Yes, I stood late, and my apologies, my sincere apologies as a result of fear, intimidation, whatever happened. It isn't now your best interest now to stand. The dust is going to settle. And when it settles, you have it shown that you stood. Because in whatever you're going to do next after this, you definitely need your character intact. And the one thing you can salvage is the fact that in the face of intimidation from Justin and reprisal, repercussions, you stood, because it is the right thing to do as a result of seeing where this country is going. And people could say, yeah, you do it now because you know you're going to lose. And he said, yeah, and I still did it. Unlike the other member that said, oh, I wanted to bring my constituency's voice to concern, and he's heard it, and okay, I'm good now. I'm just going to focus on winning. You're not going to. And you are weak. Stand. And for others that are in the Liberal Party, take a page from what the Conservatives did. And they did not back down. Even Aaron at that time was, big and bad, and they're gonna wish the day that they didn't challenge me. And we saw all of that bravado. And he had members that were, Aaron, let's just, Aaron, and they suffered their consequences of that. Because no, the focus is Canada. At that time, we had members of the Conservatives saying, we should be focusing on the Liberals. I'm sorry, no, you need to be focusing on the leadership and remove. And I'm happy that those that stood, regardless of the intimidation, all the tactics that were coming, even within their own fold, they were being pressured. They stood, and I'm happy. For you Liberals, stand. And when the dust settles, you stood, you are seen standing. And yes, you are going to take a long haul for anybody to trust you, and you build from the ashes. And never again do you allow any leader to take you down this path, because taking you down this path is taking Canada down this path. The lives of Canadians you allow to be affected because of fear and intimidation. So stand. Your integrity is now what's on the chopping block for your after. Whatever happens after, if you stay after, if you go on to private, public ventures, whatever, wherever you're going to go, you need those people to see you as a person that will stand even if the odds are stacked against you. Wherever you go after this, as a Liberal member, you need to be among the names counted that stood. Come what may, lose your riding or not, you're going to stand. Now, what would be sweeter, I'm just putting it out there, and I'm going to wrap up now because it's 39 minutes. I want to keep everything now under 45. I'm endeavoring for my podcast to be under 45. What would be sweeter is if after the 28th comes and he doesn't, that you cross the line. You no longer be a Liberal and you become an independent. Now that would be fire. That would be fire. Listen, I don't know if that's what you guys are thinking, but I'm just putting it out there. That would be fire. Stand as an independent, come what may. Let your constituents know why you're doing it. Because if you're doing it because your constituents are saying he needs to go and he don't go, stand as an independent. And you have a record to show that there are independent MPs that do win. And they will vote for you again. You run as an independent. Mark my words. Mark my words. For those who are truly standing and you're going to risk it all, you let your constituents know what you're going to do. And by the time the election comes, you work as an independent and you always stand now. So when the conservatives need a vote, they know they can count on you. If it trigger an earlier election, so be it. And you're going to be as an independent, or you say to the conservatives, go have at it. But you send him a message. Regardless, he's going to win because this is what he wants to do, is to decimate the Liberal Party. Okay, fine. You got your wish. You, as the Liberal MP, you also come out of this winning. You either come out winning, you're going to come out winning as winning your seat as an independent, and you be a man or woman of integrity moving forward, never to be bought again. You win if you lose your seats because you're no longer going to run again, and you say to the conservatives, have at it, but you stand and let the record show that you stood. And you said enough, you wash your hands and you say goodbye. But wherever you're going to go to next, let it be known on your CV that you were one of the Liberal MPs that stood and walked away because you said enough is enough. It's not about I'm going to fight a losing battle, or if I was going to lose anyway. No. You send a very strong message. Even if I was going to lose anyway, I'm not going to be losing under the banner of a narcissist, a selfish leader who cared nothing about the quality of lives of citizens. I wasn't going to run under that. So it's either you leave and we lose anyways as we recruit and get a new leadership, or we're going to lose regardless. However, I'm not going to be a part of it moving forward. I'm just saying, if he doesn't do it by the 28th, become an independent, move from underneath the banner, decide to run again as an independent on your merit of standing, or you don't run again. But please stand. Send him the message, and you trigger an early election by now being an independent and then giving the conservatives what they want. This is Lady O. Stay in action, faith, and possibility. Walk in and protect your light. Your purpose will find you. Say what you mean and live like you mean what you say. So you know what? I'm going to see if Scarborough Guildwood needs someone to run. Yeah, I'm going to look into that. I'm going to look into that.